Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my forecast for Taurus for September 2016. Well, anyway, the first thing is that for Taurus, the sun will be in Virgo in September from September 1st to the 22nd. And this could be a time where Taurus will have a need to shine, perhaps in creative endeavors. It may require laborious Virgo work, as this does highlight the 5th house for that part of the sun being in Virgo during that time. However, when the sun is in Libra from September 22nd to the 30th of this month, Taurus may be apt to shine in collaborative efforts at work. Okay, now Mercury will be in Virgo retrograde, and that will be up until the 22nd of September. And during this time, well, this could be a period of strong mental review and analysis connected with romance, children, and perhaps creative endeavors, maybe even things of a speculative nature for Taurus. And when it goes direct, analytical discussions with those things that I mentioned that may have been delayed will more likely take place, or at least take place more frequently during that time. Now, the next thing is, Venus is going to be in Libra from September 1st of this month, September 1st, or I should say September 1st through the 23rd. And that will, of course, highlight the 6th house for Taurus. Now, this could be a period, if Taurus is unattached, Taurus may find a love interest at work. And when Venus enters Scorpio on the 23rd, of course, this will highlight the 7th house for Taurus. And Taurus may very well want a relationship that is not superficial and something that is very, maybe sustained and very serious and deep when this time does come. Now, the next thing is Mars will be in Sagittarius up until the 27th of September. And of course, that will highlight the 8th house for Taurus. And this could indicate a lot of exuberant, expansive, enthusiastic energy, perhaps in connection with others and shared resources during this time. And if unattached, Taurus may be very aggressive and assertive in finding an intimate relationship or sexual relationship. Keep in mind, though, that Mars being in flighty and adventurous Sagittarius, though Taurus being a rather stable and consistent sign, Taurus may tend to get a little wandering eye during this time if unattached. So this is something to consider during this transit for Taurus. And Mars will enter Capricorn on the 27th of the month, which would highlight the 9th house for Taurus. And this could indicate a lot of serious, consistent, disciplined energy in 9th house matters, such as religion, such as higher learning and higher education. So, anyway, the next thing is, Jupiter will enter Libra on September 9th. And of course, this will highlight the 6th house for Taurus. And during this time, this could be really perhaps an auspicious period for expanding work relationships at this time. Now, Jupiter can be paradoxical. If it's in the 6th house in your natal chart and it in conjunct, say, your ascendant during this time, this could expand or enlarge health issues. This could also be a time where Taurus may show a lot of exuberance and enthusiasm in matters pertaining to work and health. Now, Saturn will continue to be in Sagittarius during this transit, and of course the 8th house is what's highlighted during this time. And this could indicate a period of taking responsibility for debts, money owed, and things purchased on credit during this time. Now, at the same time, it could show structure and discipline perhaps more in this area during this period. And also, keep in mind that Sagittarius is associated with higher knowledge, and being in the 8th house, maybe Taurus may want to learn really strongly and deeply, maybe matters, maybe a subject that is associated with the 8th house, such as astrology, such as the occult, such as the supernatural, perhaps something connected with forensics, investigation, psychology, psychiatry. And maybe even learning about surgery could be another thing, could be something possible during this time. Now, another thing is, okay, Uranus will continue to be in Aries during this month. So, the 12th house is what will be highlighted for Taurus. Now, during this time, Taurus may experience some tumult and some chaos, perhaps in their private life, which of course steady, stable Taurus really might have a strong aversion to. And during this time too, Taurus may feel like their freedom might be inhibited to some degree during this time. And also, it may be a period, okay, the 12th house is what's emphasized, of course, what's highlighted, and the 12th house is associated with dreams. So during this transit, Taurus may feel maybe a little more disruption in their sleep than usual. Maybe sleep might be a little bit more sporadic and erratic than it is ordinarily. And I'm having this transit right now. I'm having Uranus transiting my 12th house. And even though things are fairly peaceful and tranquil and quiet where I'm currently staying at, for some reason, don't seem like I'm sleeping nearly as well as I used to, and waking up periodically more so than I'm accustomed to. So Taurus might be expecting that during this time and may have already been experiencing that, well, prior to this month, for September is what I'm saying. Well, anyway, another thing is that Neptune will still be in Pisces during this time, and of course the 11th house is what's highlighted for Taurus. Now, this could be a period where Taurus might be experiencing disillusionment, perhaps delusion, deception, and connection with their friends and with acquaintances, perhaps during this time. And also, on the positive side, idealism may be expressed in matters connected with aspirations and goals. And there might be a lot of self-sacrifice, perhaps in connection with matters with groups, with organizations, and with friends and acquaintances during this time for Taurus. Okay, now Pluto, of course, is still in Capricorn this month, and the 9th house is what's highlighted for Taurus. So this could be a period for Taurus where there may be continued, perhaps, transformation in connection with philosophy, with religion during this time, philosophical outlook, and Taurus might become more learned in matter in perhaps Pluto matters, such as astrology, the occult, supernatural, perhaps forensics, investigation, just something connected with Pluto perhaps during this time. So another thing is that the North Node, of course, okay, is still in Virgo for this month, and the 5th house is what is highlighted for Taurus. Well, during this time, well, the karmic mission and purpose for Taurus during this time may be connected with analytical, intellectual enjoyment and amusement. It could be even things connected with extrapolation of data and express much enjoyment in doing so. And the thing for Taurus perhaps to be getting away from during this time is what's connected with the South Node in Pisces during this month. And of course, the 11th house is what is highlighted, and this could indicate perhaps extricating oneself from toxic friendships, acquaintances, maybe even some in isolated cases that might be chemically dependent, and ones that are about being deceptive, and ones that really don't have Taurus's best interests at heart. And those are some things to look at as far as the North Node and South Node goes during this time. Now, also, Chiron will continue to be in Pisces during this time, and of course the 11th house again is what's highlighted for Taurus. Now this might be a time where Taurus might feel a need to be able to help friends and acquaintances, maybe people they even know in groups and organizations, perhaps through the metaphysical, through astrology, through perhaps something connected with healing, with a lot of self-sacrifice. At the same time, keep in mind that Chiron is also about wounds, and Taurus might be experiencing some wounds and matters connected with their friends, with their acquaintances during this time. It might be through some kind of delusion or disillusionment connected with them. Also, keep in mind that Chiron being in retrograde motion could indicate that Taurus during this time might be able to tap into something that maybe they weren't really cognizant of before, such as something Pisces-like, such as maybe some intuition, intuitive prowess that Taurus might not have been completely cognizant or aware of before. Now, keep in mind that there is going to be a solar eclipse on September 1st. And during this time, it may indicate for Taurus that being in the solar eclipse being in Virgo, okay, the 5th house is what's highlighted. And perhaps this might flare up some health issues, perhaps connected with children, or maybe with a love or romantic interest during this time. At the same time, it could indicate maybe some prominence or some notoriety and recognition connected with maybe a 5th house thing, such as a creative endeavor, a hobby, and it might be or something that expresses creativity, and it could be through a lot of Virgo, hard, laborious work in industry during this time. So, anyway, well, last but not least, okay, the Black Moon Lilith will be in Scorpio during this month, and of course the 7th house is what's highlighted for Taurus during this period. Well, this could indicate a time where perhaps being Black Lilith in Scorpio can indicate a time of some kind of uninhibited, strong sexual energy and unrestrained. And being in the 7th house, it could be through perhaps a prospective significant other or significant other. But the problem is, keep in mind that with Black Moon Lilith highlighting the 7th house, if Taurus is unattached at this time, this could be a period where Taurus might experience a little vacillation and ambivalence as far as being tied down to somebody as far as a significant relationship would go, and perhaps being by his or herself. So, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the Taurus September 2016 horoscope forecast. And stay tuned next time, where I will be giving you my Cancer September 2016 horoscope forecast. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.